Hey, how are you?
I am doing well. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I mean, what better way to spend a cool day, a cool, hectic day with someone as cool as you? You know what I mean?
Well, thank you. Likewise.
Absolutely. So, welcome to the show. It is so amazing and badass to have you here. Before we start, I have to give you a proper welcome. If you have seen some of my episodes before, you know exactly what I'm about to do. If not, that's cool because I can surprise you. So, let me show you.
Okay.
Epic, I know.
I want that every single day as a soundtrack of my life.
Oh yeah. Just make sure that you don't put it as an alarm. Don't do that.
Okay.
I tried that, and trust me, I almost died, but because of a heart attack. But that's fine. Don't do it.
Well, that was a very warm welcome. Thank you.
I mean, you deserve that all the time. But you know what? What you could do, perhaps you could put sensors on it, so every time you go to the kitchen, it will sound that. Or when you go, when you like move around where you live, you can have like those sensors on it, and you will feel like, you will feel amazing.
I would love to. I mean, I already feel amazing now after that.
Fantastic.
So I feel like my days would be even better if I did that.
There you go. Love it. So, starting with the whole interview now. Tell me how your acting career started.
So, okay, if we're bringing it way back, I've been wanting to act since I was 3. Okay. And I grew up in New York, so that was pretty much the mecca of acting. Either if you grew up in LA or New York, I feel. So I already was pretty blessed to grow up in that environment.
Yeah.
And so I did plays and theater and all that. But I professionally started acting at 13 because I wanted to make sure that I really wanted it, because it is a hard business, not only to stay in, but to get into.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to do what I knew since I was very, very young, that this is something I always wanted to do and I always wanted to pursue. So at 13, I got an agent and I got an acting coach, and then I started booking, and here we are. There you
go. So starting from the bottom, now we're here.
Yeah, I really did start from the bottom. Like, I didn't have anybody in the business. I didn't come from a family who were theatrical or who were in the business already. So with the help and support, a lot of support from my family, I was able to live out my dreams.
I love that. That is really cool. I love that. That's amazing. That is super inspiring.
Thank you.
Yeah. And because of that, you deserve a quick and epic shout out. So just give me 1 second here.
I'm loving these shout outs. This is great.
Every time. So, let me show you.
All guests on your show, we need to start a group chat and just do a shout out for you. All of us.
I appreciate that. That's amazing. I love that.
So from every single season, we need to just come back on here and just give you a round of applause.
I love it. Yeah, I like that idea. At some point we're gonna have live audience, but we're still a small operation. We're growing, so how it goes. Perfect. And what were some of the challenges that you had when you recently started with your acting career? Because I think we all have it, right? Whenever we are starting something new, at first we just don't know what the hell we're doing, and it's gonna be like this huge learning curve. So for you, what was that learning curve when you originally started?
Ooh, I think going into acting, I was a little naive because I started at 13, so I thought that every role was just gonna come to me.
Yeah.
No. But I think, for the most part, it was smooth. I booked Disney, and I was one of their voices for their theme park for about 2 years, and I was getting consistent work. But I think one of the roller coasters, I should say, was actually in the middle of my acting career. And I, when I was starting to book more consistently, I started to get more unsure of myself and more insecure. And I was a teenager, so we all have those moments.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And so I was about 17, I believe, at the time, and I was auditioning for an NBC pilot that never ended up airing. But I was auditioning for that, and I was so nervous and catatonic. I mean, I was in the room, the audition room, and I was so nauseous. I had Coke in my hand trying to just settle my stomach. It was out of a movie. It was really fun. And I remember my mom saying to me, like, you want to do this the rest of your life. This is what you want to do. Why are you going to throw it away over fear, over doubts, over insecurities? Yeah. And it was like a big casting office. So a guy from a different audition ended up talking to me. And I don't even remember half of what he said because I was mostly focused on not throwing up. But he gave me one of the most amazing pep talks, in addition to my mom giving me the most amazing pep talk. And since then, I really haven't gotten to the level of nervousness that I did. I mean, I still get butterflies and I still get nervous for auditions or but that was one of my biggest struggles, being unsure of myself and my abilities. And honestly, I think I had to grow in those teen years and grow as an actress. And I am not where I used to be. And I'm very grateful for that moment because it taught me so much about really persevering your fears to ultimately live out your dreams.
I love it. That is really cool. That is really cool. Yeah, I do agree on that. You know, one of the things that I've discovered through time is, like, what's the worst can happen? You know, like, for example, you already have the worst outcome, which is nothing, you know? So what I've discovered is that for, like, whenever I will do something that I'm super nervous of it, I will just jump and be like, let's see what happens, you know? Because it's so interesting. For example, like for job interviews, right? That you think that you feel super sure, like super secure, and then you ended up ruining it. You don't know why exactly. And sometimes when you're not even prepared and you just jump and see what happens, you ended up having that. You know what I mean? So that's very interesting.
When I booked my Disney job, I came into the audition room and I was so nervous. So already I was nervous, and of course I wanted to be there, but I was like, let's just get this over with. Yeah. And there was a word in there. It was a voiceover. There was a very long script. I think it was about 90 seconds, and then they shortened it. And for a voiceover ad, that's a long time. And I remember thinking, how am I going to say all these words without, flubbing a line or saying something wrong? And there was a word in there called fiscal, the fiscal year. And I said physical, and I totally messed it up. Really messed up the line, but I just kept going with it. And I thought, oh, my voice is so high pitched and they're not going to like me because I said their word wrong. And 2 hours later, I get a call from my agent that said, you have a call back. And I was like, they liked me? Okay, sure. The next day I booked it. And then within 2 hours, I was in LA recording it for Disney. And so, it doesn't matter if you think that you messed up a line or you think that, you're right for the role. It doesn't really matter what you're, because ultimately it goes down to casting and what they feel is best for the role. And that is not for you to judge yourself. Do the best you can and leave it in the hands of casting.
I love that. I like that. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? You deserve it. That's awesome.
Thank you. That just keeps brightening my day. Really.
I love it. I love it. And what do you think? It's an important aspect for young actors to know when they recently started on their acting industry.
Oof. I think understand why you want to be in the business before you even start, because I feel a lot of it's a very saturated market. So I feel, don't go into it thinking, oh, I want to be rich and famous, or I want to, you want to go into it because you love acting. You love putting on a show, or you love being in a character, whatever your reason is for acting or singing, or, whatever you want to do in the entertainment business. Yeah. And I would say, believe in yourself. And I know that is the most cheesy thing I could say, but it is what I have been told. And I kept thinking, oh, like, what kind of advice is that? There have been moments and points in my career where I really haven't believed in myself, and it affected me a lot. Yeah. So as long as you go into it, and you are going to have so many no's more than you get yeses, unless you're like super lucky. But for the most part, you will get a lot of rejection, and it's nothing personal, but you will get the right yeses. So just keep persevering and keep pursuing it. If you really love it, you will ultimately book something, you will ultimately get a really amazing job. So don't listen to the haters, just do what you love doing and believe in yourself and have that confidence in yourself that you can do it.
Yeah, preach on that. And talking more about your acting process, tell me how you usually prepare a character. I mean, I understand, of course, that depends on the role, but like, what usually sets you off into this whole journey, let's say, of character creation?
A few things. I think no matter what director, producer I'm working with, they're actually, or the writer, whoever is making the project, I look at their work before and I see what is the feel that for the film, for the TV show, for the commercial, whatever it is, what is the feel for it? So I can kind of create the environment before I make the character.
Okay.
I think environment is everything. I look at maybe, obviously the character breakdown. There is always a character breakdown, but I think I take from personal experience because, you know, as an actress, as a creator and a writer myself, I'm always going to add to the character. I'm always going to make it my own. So I take from personal experience. So if they're, you know, if the character, for instance, has gone through an incredible loss and, you know, she's a little bit rough around the edges, I will go back at my loss. And I've had, you know, a lot of personal losses in my life, and I will put that into the character to make it really personal and tailorized. Taylor. But that is usually my process. You know, I think a lot of, especially nowadays, characters are really written out, and they're very easy. So there's not this incredible process where I, you know, research for hours. You know, Reese Witherspoon, for instance, when she got Elle Woods and Legally Blonde, she went to sorority and she lived in a sorority house for about a month, and she really studied the girls and kind of the sorority life, and that's great. But that's not what I do. I mostly just take from personal experience and kind of fill in the blanks. And that's what I do. There's not really special with it.
Yeah, of course. But like during that process, what are some of the things that you enjoy the most?
Enjoy the most? I think adding my own personality and my own personal experiences into the character.
Right. Because
characters aren't just words and costumes. They are real life people that have been made into a story and are that is the difference. I don't think characters are just make believe. I think a lot of reality is put into that, and I respect this craft a lot for that very reason.
Yeah.
So I always remember kind of the backstory behind it, of whoever the character is, and so that's why I really enjoy that process, to have this personal connection and put that personality into it, and bringing them from script into real life, and to make it this amazing story, no matter what it is, no matter what project it is.
Totally. Wow. So cool. And going now to your performances on theater, tell me, what do you like the most about theater in general?
Oh, the feeling you get when you're performing. There is no greater and scarier feeling that an actor or an actress will feel when they're about to go on stage. And I've been theater acting since I was about 6.
Yeah.
My first role was a strawberry.
Oh, okay.
Vegetable play. But there is no greater feeling, and it is an amazing adrenaline rush. But growing up in New York, one of the first plays I saw was Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Okay. I was about 4, and when I was seeing them perform and sing and dance in this big, huge spectacle, I was like, I have to do that, and so I did. And so I'd say the adrenaline rush and seeing how what you're doing is affecting people for good. Maybe you're making them feel something happy or sad, or maybe they pity you, maybe they hate you, maybe they love you. No matter what they're feeling about you, that you're making them feel something and making them think about. They're not just absent-mindedly watching you. That you have that power to make them feel something and take that away with them outside of the theater.
Okay. And how you usually prepare before going on stage? I mean, do you have like a go-to meal or a go-to song, or yeah, like what's your thing that usually sets you in the mood to be like, okay, let's go?
I'm definitely a music junkie.
Okay.
So I will be listening to a lot of my playlists, very upbeat. Okay, it depends on what the play is. If it is very dramatic, I'm going to be listening to rock, and I'm going to be listening to Billie Eilish, and I'm going to be getting into that mode. Obviously making sure I have that character breakdown again, understanding the environment, understanding the character, and really living in that.
Yeah.
And I will take the script and I will go over it several different ways of, let's say it's a very theatrical script.
Mm-hmm.
I will be going over it several different ways of how I can be theatrical. I won't give it just one single take of theatrics or hysterics or whatever. But that's usually getting into that music and that environment, and not really getting out of that until after the play is over. What's funny, I did a play last year this time, and unfortunately due to COVID, we had to film it. We couldn't, unfortunately, do it in a play, like a theater.
Yeah, of course.
But when we recorded it, it was the same way. We had, the curtains behind us, and so unfortunately, I didn't get to perform in front of an audience, but I listened to my music. I was a very hysterical actress who was going to kill her cat, and she was auditioning for this big play and ended up getting it. And it was a 6-minute monologue, and it was honestly the best time. But I listened to a lot of crazy music. I was listening to Queen, and I was listening to a bunch of different songs, and just like that weird zone. Music always helps me.
I love it. And what can we expect from you this year?
Okay, so a lot of things.
Okay.
I am currently, so I booked an independent series, and hopefully filming this year, but you know how pre-production is, you never really but we're going to be filming in several different cities, in New York, in LA, in Chicago, and it is a coming of age kind of series, and I can't talk too much about it because it's still pre-production, but I think everyone will fall in love with the story as much as I will love portraying that story. It's very relatable, and it's funny, it's sad, it's everything in between, so I'm really excited for that. When I'm not acting, I'm also writing.
Okay.
So I work for a production company, and I write a lot of skits, not only for social media, but I also co-wrote another series that we are pitching to networks. So more on that soon, and short films, and I've always had a passion for writing as well as singing. So a few months ago, I recorded for Vasquez Pictures. They have this mini series called Little Moments, and it's a drama episodic series. And their pilot, Ocean Wings, beautiful story about Syrian refugees. I was honored to sing their theme song for the pilot episode. And we're going to be having a premiere for it soon.
Okay.
More on that. I keep saying that, but this year just started. But I'm really excited for the next several months of 2022. It's already been so amazing, and I just get to be doing what I love. I don't even look at this as work. This is something I love. Yeah. So I'm really grateful that I not only get to act, but I also get to write and sing. That's just amazing to me.
I love it. And you know what's coming.
Yeah.
That is super cool. And tell me, if you could describe your acting career at the moment on a song, a movie, TV show, book, even a play, why not? What would be the title of it?
Oh, I think by ELO, It's a Living Thing. I am living. Okay. And I'm really, I'm 21 now. So I think I just started my 20s, right?
Yeah.
And for me, I've always wanted to not only just do work, but to live and to live my life amazingly. And to confidently say that I'm doing that is everything to me. So it's a living thing. I'm living.
I love it. Okay. And if you could describe your career on a drink, which one would you choose?
In a drink? Ooh, Coke. It's classic. It's amazing. Hopefully everyone loves it. I'd say Coke. Okay. Also, that's my favorite drink, so I had to.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. And like my last question here, like what motivates you? You know, we all have those days, right? In which we don't want to continue anymore. We think that it's been a waste of time. We think that nobody likes it. We think that we are kind of on the wrong path here. Then we start to compare ourselves. I mean, going inside all of those toxic thoughts, it's super easy, right? But like, what gets you out of it? You know, what gets you out of it and just continuing moving forward and just pushing on your acting career here?
Honestly, my mom has helped me so much. She has been such a lightning force in my entire career. So she has always been there helping, supporting me. So she really does get me through my bad acting days, because I have been through a plethora of acting days. And I also think I will look back again on a lot of my failures or a lot of my, rejection that I've gotten in acting. And I look back at that and I go, but look at all the amazing things that I've booked and that I'm working on. So I ultimately look at the end goal of what I want to accomplish and what I want to achieve. So that really stay on track, because we will all have bad days. I have had several, Lord knows. But I have had more good days than bad. So I think just ultimately looking at your end goal. Mine is always just accomplishing my dreams and acting and writing and making people feel things. So that motivates me to kind of stay on target.
There you go, Taylor. That is so cool, so amazing. I mean, the fact that you're so honest to it, and that you're putting like too much, you're putting like a lot of passion to it. That is really cool. It is inspiring, absolutely. And I'm super sure that eventually we're gonna basically see you everywhere. We're talking everywhere. You know, there's gonna be a point like no matter where we turn, it's gonna be you there. That I'm super sure that is gonna happen, because I do believe that good things happen to those who are doing things by heart, you know, and they're like honest of it, you know. And that is so cool. I can't wait for this year and all the years to come on your acting career. As I said, it's gonna be badass. I'm super sure of it.
Thank you so much. I think honestly, no matter who's listening, either live now or post this, just be consistent with it. You know, I want to inspire at least one person, because I know if I were just starting out in anything, no matter if it's acting or singing or writing or painting or whatever, just be consistent with it and know your end goal.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what's in your way, whether it's finances or people saying you can't do it, or your own personal doubt, or, you know, you don't have the resources, whatever. It doesn't matter. As long as you just keep pursuing your dreams and putting hard work in, you will achieve something. You will achieve something.
There you go. I do agree on that. And Taylor, again, I want to thank you so much for having the chance to make this happen. Also want to thank those who are watching this right now. Thank you so much. If you're watching this later, either on YouTube or listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, make sure that you follow me, Taylor. If you already do, fantastic. What we're going to do now, we're going to make her trendy. I mean, let's make sure everybody knows about this amazing, talented actress. Let's make her trendy. Later on, why not putting some merch on it with a hashtag Team Taylor? That would be cool. And Taylor, before I send you off, you know what is going to happen. I need to do it, so...
That just never gets old. That really, it doesn't get old.
I love it. And keep having an amazing rest of the day, an amazing upcoming weekend. Keep killing it. And me and my puppy will see you in the next one then.
Yes, thank you so much for having me on. I had a great time.
All right, same here. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.